Before I get into the main part of the assignment that I'd like to go over today, I want to mention what I'm looking for in the acids and bases assignment. It says that you should read the title or the section titled Acids and Bases in your book from page 149 to 151. It's a very short section. And then answer the question using a 5-sentence paragraph. The question is, why is knowledge of acids and bases, which is typically a chemistry topic, important to the study of biology? After reading the section in your book called Acids and Bases, I want you to kind of think about what we've learned so far this year and give me a 5-sentence paragraph that details how the knowledge of acids and bases would be important to anybody studying or working in the field of biology. Remember that biology is not just about animals. It's also about plants, it's about bacteria, it's about any living organism, which includes animals, which includes humans, but it's not limited to that. It includes all of the ecology topics that we talked about in the last unit. So your paragraph should be a main idea sentence, 3 different reasons why it would be important for a biologist to understand acids and bases, and then a conclusion sentence. Having said that, I'm going to now move on to the macromolecules assignment. Molecules are made of elements. These molecules are responsible for allowing our bodies to complete chemical reactions necessary to keep living. So let's take a look at what those macromolecules are and how they relate to living things. Macromolecules are found everywhere. The food you eat, the silk a spider makes, and the muscles in your body. Remember that the prefix macro from the beginning of our year means large. These molecules are made of sometimes thousands of different atoms connected together through bonds. There are 4 types of macromolecules found in living things. The first is a carbohydrate, the second is lipids, then proteins, and then nucleic acids. Some of these terms should sound familiar from health class, from talking about nutrition and diet, because many of these macromolecules get into our system through the things we eat. The first type is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the main source of energy for a living thing. This is what the living thing will break down through chemical reactions in order to keep that living thing living, in order to be able to do the processes that the living thing needs to do. It's broken down through things like digestion. The energy that comes in from our food is changed into energy that our bodies can use. So we take chemical energy found in a piece of bread or some pasta or meat and change it into mechanical energy so that we can move our arms, so that our muscles work, things like that. Carbohydrates also form building materials inside your cells. For example, in insects, chitin forms the insect's shell, like the shell of a beetle. And in plants, you have cellulose, which is a form of carbohydrate, which forms the cell wall. The cell wall is important to a plant because that's what allows the plant to stand up without a skeleton. When you see a flower growing and it's, 5, 6, 8 inches tall, it's able to be that tall simply because it has cellulose in its cell wall, which makes it stand up straight. Carbohydrates in humans are often talked about as simple and complex sugars. Disaccharides are made of 2 sugars. For example, table sugar is an example of a disaccharide. Its chemical term is called sucrose. Complex sugars are things like starch, which could be found in plants, like potatoes. The next type of macromolecule is a lipid. This is another term for fats. We gain these fats into our system through the things we eat. And lipids can store huge amounts of energy. The carbohydrates are energy, but they're available for immediate energy. Lipids store energy over long periods of time. You can have saturated which saturated lipids would be solid at room temperature, like butter, or you can have unsaturated lipids. These would be things that would be liquid at room temperature, like vegetable oil. Remember that not just humans have lipids. Animals have lipids in them, plants have lipids, and every living thing needs lipids. Fats are hydrophobic, which literally means afraid of water. Hydro being water-phobic mean fear. It means that fats don't mix with water. Lipids are one of the main things that form cellular structures. The cell membrane in every cell for every living thing, including things like bacteria, are made of lipids. The next type of macromolecule is a protein. Proteins have many, many different shapes and many different jobs. These are the things that get the jobs done inside your body. The function, the job of the protein, is completely based on its shape. Proteins act like keys and locks. For example, your hair, fingernails, and enzymes, the enzymes that are in your body help break down food in your stomach, as well as do every other chemical reaction. Enzymes, these make chemical reactions happen faster, and if your body wasn't doing those chemical reactions, you would become sick or you wouldn't be living at all. Proteins are made of amino acids, so a smaller part, a subunit of a protein, is called an amino acid. And the last type of macromolecule are nucleic acids. Nucleic acids are what make up our DNA and our RNA. DNA, of course, carries all the instructions for building an organism, making you look the way you do, making your body function the way it does. And DNA is found in every cell of every organism. That DNA, of course, is passed from parent to offspring, which we will focus more on when we get to the study of genetics. And it's found in the nucleus of every cell. The subunit for nucleic acids are called nucleotides. If you have any questions about macromolecules or what you're supposed to do for this assignment, please make sure you ask.